I'm Ahmad, operations manager turned self-taught artisan furniture maker.
My life is furniture. I revolve around it, I design it, I build it. It's how I look at the world, how it saved my life. The moment when I choose this as a career, it becomes the whole thing is been learned, to be trained, to be absorbed. Furniture is something that belongs to you and you only. It shows, for example, if I'm an adventurous person, right, and I love the nature, a bohemian feel will match you nicely. For example, if you're a minimalist, something with sleek lines or a natural curves, it's about building it is not just enough, it's about who I build it for. So I had to learn everything, be it from the neoclassicism, Victorian, to mid-century style, Scandinavian style, or even cultural stuff. So for someone who comes from a family of 5 siblings, being the last child, I got a lot of hand-me-downs. For example, my sister's books, my brother's clothes. My father will actually pick up toys from downstairs, what people throw. My mom will wash it and we'll get to play with it. What I go through as a young kid really shaped me for who I am today and how I appreciate doing what I do. I can tell you how I started to be thinking about sustainability is from my father itself. He actually collected all these newspapers from work and he will bring home and they will keep up to 200 kilo and then we'll sell it to Karang-Guni. My mom will negotiate up to 10 cents per kilo. So with that money that we collected is not for us. It's to actually do charity, taking care of others. So reuse, recycle and sustainability, I learned from them. For secondary school, I didn't really do so well. Played too much. I was a bit of a delinquent. Sec 1, I stay back. Sec 3, kind of like stay back again. At ITE, I got into precision engineering. Making things, it was literally hand. You have to file the metal and everything. So that was the beginning of how I like to make things, and I got A for that. Later on in life, I got into stagecraft, set building and set designing. So these things are fun to reminisce my past on building sets such as Phantom of the Opera or, local dramas and even theatre shows. Okay, aku angkat. And I still get those old clients to come back to me and ask me to build. But I was lost in my career. I didn't want to be in the entertainment industry anymore. I didn't have that passion. And someone asked me whether I would like to go for working for a furniture shop. So I worked as a coolie, where I started as a labourer, carrying furniture. From there, I grew and I learned and basically moved on from stages to stages until I become an operations manager for a furniture company. How I started making things was actually, there were scrap woods at the back of the room. So I cut it open, make into a simple coffee table for me to have a space at the back for me to relax. And it all turned into something amazing when one of the customers actually saw it and wanted to buy it. My boss was shocked. She asked who made it. So I told her that I did it. And from there, she asked me to actually make her shelf for her desk. And then someone asked me whether I can restore a 1950s table. So I took up the challenge and tried and restore it. The thing that got me hooked into making furniture will be the process that I have to go through. Cutting the wood, the dust, the sanding process, wanting to do more. How can I do better? Or how I want to try and make this. And it was a journey. It was really a remarkable experiment. Some would say it's an art because you can salvage anything and everything. I decided to leave the company because of difference of opinion, and I had to look for my own ways. I never knew that I want to become a business owner. I just wanted to build things. But I thought, why not? To leave a full-time job and doing your own was something that I was not afraid of. I told myself, I'm capable. I know what I can. I know what I cannot. I was young, I have no big commitments. No one else who's there to stop me. Yeah, I'll get nagging from my parents, but then, if not now, then when? That's the question I ask myself. This is the chair I was telling you about, the design that I've improved. You should give it a try.
Okay, let me test.
What do you think?
Relaxing.
So, I got this from my father, who got it from his father, and my grandfather got it from his father. I'm the 4th generation. So, this is actually my grandfather's tool. The day when I was telling my parents about opening my workshop officially, my dad called me up and said, hey, wait, there's something I want to show you. Maybe you will need it. So he opened our storeroom and then he said, take out that trunk at the back of the room. And then he told me, son, this is what you don't know about yourself. Your great-grandfather and your grandfather was actually a woodworker. I'm glad to know I'm actually have the blood in me, and I'm glad I chose this career.
Wow, I've never seen such tools in my life, actually. So it's something new to me. Ahmad loves vintage stuff. Even when we went Bangkok for our honeymoon, he went to this warehouse to look around for vintage items, vintage furniture, anything vintage basically.
More than, 80 years? There's an initial here.
He keep those those old sewing machines. He make it into a furniture.
Like this also, a planer, right? But this is to shape, rounded, just like this.
Oh, okay. He just puts his work above everything else. He even said, oh, I'm sorry, but my work is my first wife.
To open and start my own workshop, I had to sacrifice a lot. 1 meal a day was how much I can afford. I took up jobs that only had $10 net profit even, just to survive. At the start of my woodworking journey, I didn't have much to learn from. I was relying on YouTube, I was relying on books. So this is how I learned through, by looking, reading, and even to use the machinery. It takes a whole lot because I don't have any proper teacher. So I rely on this a lot. Those were the days. And then from there, I trial and error, and it becomes something of an adventure. I didn't have that money to buy that kind of tools. So you find alternatives. When it comes to woodworking, you always have alternatives. You got hand planer, there's tons of saws. So you use this kind of equipment to compensate what you don't have. So from there, you learn the unorthodox way, right? To achieve the same. And that will make you better actually. You don't just follow blindly, right? For someone who is always having a hard time learning, I'm only very good at learning through processes and mistakes. For the significance of this TV console, it was the last wood that I salvaged from the old Parliament House. The dumpster diving was amazing, had more than 180 pieces of wood, and I fit everything into my brother's van.
This was industrial grade pine, meticulously joined with domino joints, and it's really, really fun to be doing this. This was the first step for me improving my art of woodworking.
My appreciation for used material, to build using sustainable material, goes back from how I was brought up by my parents to appreciate what I have and make use of it. At the start, when I was trying to buy local wood, they thought that, I'm just too young, waste of time. I only buy a bit. So that was the biggest challenge to start something, to get trust, to build relationship. So most of the time, how I got my materials was through dumpster diving. The wood that I salvaged from the dumpster divings, I built shelvings, I did crates, I did flower stands. These are the starting of what I was selling on Carousel. It was the beginning of all those small stuff to create that trust that I can do actually bigger. Oh, you want me to do a table? Yes, sir. An opportunity to do a table. The first $1,000 I got, I brought 2 of my friends over to JB and tried to buy more tools. A bigger planer, a machine, electrical operated planer. We brought a compressor. These are the process to make it faster so I can produce more projects, produce more money.
The toughest process about making furnitures, in my opinion, it will be sending work. Because the hours that put into just for a chair may be around 6 to 8 hours depending on the skills. We try to focus on furniture-grade quality kind of smoothness, where people can still feel the natural grains of the wood, the pores of the wood, the fibers of the wood, and the beauty of the wood. This is called sanding blocks, right? It's just sandpaper put on top of a wood, right? We number it the same people who like me in the last time, right? DIY, you don't have much. All you have is your energy. And you just push through, pushing yourself so that you get the fine kind of sanding smoothness that you want to get. It tends to create into an obsession.
Teaching myself is definitely fun. Every day is like an opportunity to upgrade yourself. It's like playing game, when you play game, you upgrade. But this is it's a life skill, a talent that you practice and get it right. You are honing your skills to become the best that you can be. There are days where, you are exhausted, you don't have money to eat, and you get frustrated. You just throw every single tool. You just flip the table. Yeah, and then you just walk it off. Come back, clean it up, and tell yourself, you choose this. Nobody forced you to do it. Get back up, focus, redo again. During the beginning, I was supplementing my income with doing Grab to find some money, right, to learn overseas. Mentor is the struggle to find in Singapore. There's very little people who actually have the ability to do every part of woodworking. So the only way to learn was to go overseas where they manufacture furnitures. So to learn restoration, I went to Malaysia. For woodworking, I went to Indonesia. To learn design, I went to Thailand.
This is one of my first few pieces that I built when I was learning woodworking in Indonesia. Now I look at it again, I could see the mistakes that I did. As you can see, the drawers are not flush, right? And the doors warps, all this saw marks, I didn't sand properly. And the worst part is that I was using the lowest grade of finishing, which is a silicone wax, and it's ridiculous. Now that I see it was not sustainable, it was an expensive learning journey, but it was really, really fruitful. I learned a lot.
Passion is only one part of the business. Passion don't make money. So marketing the products that you sell is very important also. You have to really go out and showcase to the world through social medias So I document through Instagram, to Facebook that I was doing this. So one by one, you through from carousel, you start. We're just posting, able to make custom made. I can build anything. Give me that challenge. Just take any kind of projects. So I always take photos of how I made it, what kind of material I use it, and the process. We always show how it's been made. And it has been great because I love transparency and I want people to appreciate what we built. It's not something that you can buy off the shelf. It's something that, is built for you, meant for you. Hi Mira, how are you?
I love music, I love my records, and I wanted to give them a new home. And I kind of stumbled on Urban Salvation by accident. Homegrown, that was probably one of the first things. He was almost a bit of an artist. I love mid-century modern art and architecture, and he lived and breathed that. But one of the biggest things for me was he talked about sustainability. So when I went to meet him at his studio, he brought up the fact that a lot of the wood that he was using was actually recycled. And I gave him all these details just on WhatsApp. And the following day, he actually came back to me and said, this is what I have in mind. And it was literally almost close to what I was looking for. I feel that every time someone comes in, the first thing that they ask is, where did you get it from? I did not stop at one. I got a little dressing table chair and then 2 dining table chairs. But my favorite, absolute favorite piece that I've ever worked with Ahmad on would have to be my coffee table. It's Memphis design. He gave me a nice marble piece. I think that as kids growing up in Singapore, we were always taught to, in order to get a good job, you had to get a degree because that's the only way that you're going to get to that point. Ahmad showed that sometimes it's just about following your passion, but also being dedicated. He's built a business, he's grown it, he's got a following. That's truly, it's inspiring. It's wonderful that we have young businesses like him here.
How I approach my business is through small advancement or small upgrades. We started from 7 meter by 4 meter space. Now we have 2,000 square feet space. We also have a 15,000 square feet workshop that is from Indonesia using reclaimed teak, which is a high-grade premium furniture quality wood. It will be opening up bigger market. The future aim of my business is to bring the same concept in Southeast Asia, using renewable material, sustainable material, and giving jobs to local craftsmen and building a huge brand that grows global. So basically, this, once it's dry, you sand and do second coat, so it builds up a layer of film.
When I was younger, I saw my dad create things from just woods.
Same thing as you can see here.
So the idea of making things really excites me.
So to make it still look natural like a wood, right, you remove the excess.
At that point in time, I might frequently did Instagram live, showcasing how he do works. That was really fun to see, and it made me want to be in a workshop. So yeah, I contacted him.
You want to showcase your skills now?
Let me try my best. I asked for apprenticeship. He told me that he don't do apprenticeship, but I can come down and learn.
Yeah, don't forget that you miss gonna be the corners. Yeah.
But over time, he saw that I was very keen and he made it structured for me to learn. And before I knew it, months later, I'm already in apprenticeship with him. Ahmad is very generous with knowledge. Like, if I have any questions, he would not just answer what I ask, he would answer more than what I ask.
Just make it even, or should I wipe it with another cloth?
Usually what I would recommend is to actually leave it for 10 minutes, let it sink into the wood, check and recheck. There's a saying in woodworking, check twice, cut once. Same goes with any kind of work that you do in woodworking.
I feel extremely lucky because before this, I really did not know where to go to get a teacher. So it feels like a blessing that he managed to find time to teach me.
Why mentoring is important to me is that so that this person who actually learned from me can pass down the knowledge to the next person, help them in their career, to help them in life.
Right. It was good.
I think beginner stocks does exist, huh?
So the final goal for me in my career will be to have a woodworking school. Imagine having a school where people can come and learn the proper ways of furniture building from scratch, the processes, the design aspect, the outcome of their hand, right? To be a platform, a beacon of a hub for makers so that it will not be a dying trade anymore.
Really composed. Okay, healthy, looks good. The features of the nose and everything. Chin maybe like you are.
The moment of truth right now is that I myself am having my future generations. I am scared. I am doing very little. So to have a child coming up is to actually prepare him to do better than me. I'm only doing a small part in how we approach sustainability, right? We are so used, in Singapore, we are so used to linear economy. What I want is people to rethink how the raw material, if it's renewable material, to the end product, to be able to be repaired, to be able to be reused for another product even, right? Just buying and throwing, right, is not the answer.
I feel proud of him. When Ahmad set his mind to something, I think he has a goal, he has a vision, so he worked towards it. So that's what keeps him going every day. I just don't know how he never get tired. Like, he don't know when to stop. But then it's what he loves to do, it's what he wants to do, so I just support him.
All I just wanted to do was work, and it becomes a passion, it becomes a career, it becomes a business, it becomes my whole life now. Things will happen, surprises will come. It's how you yourself make use of it and build, and how you shape it and you shine it to make something out of it.